Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a 2025 NFL mock draft today. Now, I have a decent bit of knowledge about a lot of these prospects, but when we start to get down to I don't even know, 15 or beyond, I may not know a certain ton about all these players because we're still kind of early into the draft, but I just really wanted to do one of these. We're going to start off with Tennessee Titans. Big question, do they go quarterback here? A lot of people seem to think that there's not really quarterbacks worthy to be taken with the first 5 picks because Titans could potentially, Patriots could potentially, and Giants. So all 3 of these teams, but quarterback class next year is looking pretty good. You got Cade Klubenek, that's probably not how you pronounce his last name, from Clemson. Potentially Drew Aller, who with that playoff game really, I think, kind of stunk, or kind of tanked his draft stock, at least for this year. If he played a good game, I could see him going top 5 this year. Cade Klubenek also is a guy, again, probably not saying his name right, that probably definitely could go top 5, top 10 in this draft. I don't know why you would risk your draft stock, but maybe it's not all about the draft stock. And then you have potentially Arch Manning next year. I'm not sure if he's going to be eligible or if he'll go. He could go. Arch Manning definitely is the guy we're going to take with the top pick. I do think that Abdul Carter is in play here, and I would rather have Cam Ward over Shedeur Sanders. A guy like Jalen Milroe is a guy that, although I don't agree with him going to round 1, he could go round 1. I don't see it at all. I think he's probably better than Anthony Richardson coming out. I'm a Colts fan. I really am not a fan of Anthony Richardson. There's so many different ways you can go. I think I'm just going to go Cam Ward here. You could potentially roll again with Will Levis. That seems like a decent possibility. He's shown flashes, but I think this team is ready to move on and take a new quarterback at Mason Rudolph. Not a good quarterback class. I still believe in Will Levis. I believe he could start, but I think Cam Ward is looking like a pretty good number 1 pick. I think the Browns here, I think you have such a mess at quarterback position that adding another guy like Shedeur Sanders might just make it worse. I think you kind of need to wait another year. Cut Deshaun Watson after this year. He tore his ACL again. Might want to rock with Jameis Winston and put yourself in a good position to draft a quarterback next year. I'm not saying tank completely. You really don't need a quarterback here. You do need a receiver, but ideally a team drafting Travis Hunter is going to want a guy who has a need. You want a team to draft Travis Hunter. You want that team to have, a need at corner and wide receiver. The Browns do not have a need at corner. They have probably the best cornerback room in the league, potentially with Greg Newsome, Martin Emerson Jr., and Denzel Ward, who is one of the most underrated cornerbacks in the league. I think to go Abdul Carter, that line would be absolutely crazy. With Myles Garrett and Abdul Carter, you'll be set for a decent period of time. Getting a quarterback, that defense is so underrated, so good. Offense is just abysmal. But Jerry Jeudy definitely stepped up this year, though. Giants are going to go quarterback here just because I think Joe Sheen is the Giants GM and Brian Daboll, I think, are both sticking around and they're fighting for their job. They need to win now, and I think they're definitely going to take a quarterback. 4th pick. I'm going to factor free agency into this because obviously free agency happens before the draft. A lot of people mock McMillan there. I don't see it just because I think they're going to get a guy but I don't think A.J. Brown's up for trade, but a T. Higgins, Bengals need to pay defense. They cannot afford to pay T. Higgins. They also still have to pay Jamar Chase. I don't think McMillan is the option here for the Patriots, even though they do really, really, really need a weapon for him. I think they really target that in free agency or a trade. And you can get a guy down the board in round 2 potentially, even though this what am I doing here? This wide receiver class isn't the best. There are decent guys down the board Nick Nash, is he really, really that good? Trey Harris, Tez Johnson, Isaiah Bond. We'll see if he declares. I know Matthew Golden had a nice playoff. Alec Ailmanor, probably not saying that right. I really like Westboro out of Miami. He had a great year with Cam Ward. But aside from these top 4, maybe you can get a guy in the 2nd round. Your 2nd round draft picks last year, Jalen Polk didn't even have 100 yards. And Javon Baker, I think, had 1 catch in the season. So you did terrible drafting last year. I mean, for a 2nd round guy like Jalen Polk, whatever you say his name, not even 100 yards. That's awful. That's genuinely terrible. Shoot. I think they go Travis Hunter. But I think they can go Will Johnson. Imagine Will Johnson with, is it Christian Gonzalez? Am I saying his name right? Probably it's not Christian. Why am I blanking on this? I'll have to look this up real quick. I think it's Christian Gonzalez. Yeah, it's Christian Gonzalez. Okay, I don't know why I blanked on that. Will Johnson and Christian Gonzalez or Travis Hunter? This is a team. Need corner potentially, and could get a wide receiver with Travis Hunter. I think that's actually a perfect fit. Jaguars, I'm going to go with one of these Michigan defenders here. They either need Mason Graham or Will Johnson. I don't think they necessarily need wide receiver. Christian Kirk, very underrated. Brian Thomas Jr., best rookie receiver probably. I put him above Malik Nabers genuinely. Although the quarterback situations both were pretty dire. Ashton Genty, no, even though Travis Etienne had a really bad year. Do they need D-line? Trayvon Walker, very underrated player again. Foyside Oloyukon, good linebacker. Was it Devin Lloyd? Well, also I think underrated. I think you really need a really good cornerback to help out Tyson Campbell. So I think Will Johnson comes off the board here at number 5 for the Jaguars. Number 6, Raiders. You want a quarterback because you have one of the worst quarterback rooms in the league. Dylan Gabriel, not worth taking. Jalen Milroe, no. Riley Leonard, absolutely not. Quinn Ewers, is he going to stay? I don't know. There's like guys who could be sneaky good. I see Jackson Dart being an insanely good pickup for a team like in round 3. Maybe Seahawks, Raiders, Browns, someone round 3. There's some guys down the board that could be good, but not a top-heavy guy. I think Raiders could take McMillan. I think they potentially could take Graham. Got Christian Wilkins there on the D-line along with Max Crosby. I would hate Ashton Genty going. I really would hate Ashton Genty going to the Raiders because he's not going to have a good year probably. They have a terrible offensive line and he'd be the only guy good there. But Raiders usually do draft best player available. We saw that with Brock Bowers last year and Tyree Wilson, who I've not heard anything about him. He was in the 2023 draft, I believe, the 7th pick. I think Ashton Genty fits the Raiders scheme of best player available, goes to a very, very unfortunate situation. That's a nightmare. I'd hate to see that, but that's probably going to happen. This running back class, man, this running back class is pretty good. I could see Amarian Hampton coming off in the first round. Potentially Cam Scabado genuinely going to a team like, I don't know if the Bills take him round 1. Maybe Chiefs. Caleb Johnson might go round 1. Dylan Sampson. You got Amarian Hampton, Cam Scadaboo, Dylan Sampson, Caleb Johnson, Trayvon Henderson is so unbelievably underrated. He's going round 2 for sure. Devin Neal, Quinshon Judkins, RJ Harvey, DJ Giddens, Trevor Etienne, and a guy who's fallen way down the board, Jordan James, also really good. Raheem Sanders, Donovan Edwards, but that McNeese State logo always looks like Michigan. Ollie Gordon, I believe, was projected to be a round 1 pick. Really had a terrible year this year. Should have went last year. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Jets here. Mason Graham, I think, a guy to go up front with Quinnen Williams. I don't know what they do. They're another team that could potentially take, Jalen Milroe in round 2 or 3. Jalen Milroe is going to be drafted. Round 3, round 2, I don't know. Definitely not round 1. He'll be there in round 2. Panthers. Do you go McMillan here? Do you go Will Campbell? Bryce Young started to look really, really good towards the end of the season. He was playing genuinely very well, which I love to see. I think they take Luther Burden. I think Luther Burden is a guy who is more athletic, I'd say, than McMillan. Great after the catch. I don't know if they get a guy in free agency or a trade like Cooper Kupp, potentially Michael Pittman Jr. I don't know. Literally anyone, but I think Luther Burden's a good player to take care at 8. Saints, they're going to go McMillan. The quarterback mess. This team, this is a team that needs to rebuild. They've been in the rebuilding phase for so long. They get a guy like a Band-Aid like Derek Carr. Oh yeah, we're going to slap Derek Carr into this team because he's going to fix everything. I don't know. I think they just take McMillan here to give another weapon besides Chris Olave, Jawan Johnson. I think they have at tight end. Excuse me. Bears need to take a tackle. Caleb Williams is good. Caleb Williams is very, very good. But in order for him to be good, you have to build the offensive line. Give him some time. Because when Caleb Williams has time, he's a good improviser. He's a quarterback who can run, but he's really good at kind of scrambling and giving himself some space. Take Will Campbell. He fell to your laps here. I really don't like that they took. I mean, in retrospective, it was good. The Rome Odunze pick at 9. But why are you drafting with a top 10 pick, number 9? Why are you taking a wide receiver 3 when you have a sketchy O-line? Why is that your priority over a premium tackle? There's guys that you could have grabbed that played decent further down round 1. He could have traded down. I don't understand why a wide receiver 3, because he was a wide receiver 3. A rookie is a wide receiver 3. And in that Bears system, he's not a wide. DJ Moore better. Keenan Allen, obviously, Dunze probably is a 2 now. He'll move up, but you can't be thinking about next year necessarily. That's what they did. You needed to take a tackle. I don't know why you're taking a wide receiver 3. Anyways, it's in the past. You have Josh Simmons down the board. Kelvin Banks, I guess they could. I don't know. They're probably picking. Last year they didn't have a second round pick, I don't think, because they traded for Montez Sweat, I think it was. Montez Sweat. I'm going to break this video into 3 parts because my voice is getting a little bit tired. So I'm going to do picks 11 through 20 in the second part, which I'll do right after this.